Has the Department of Health conducted needs assessment or epidemiological study showing that a standalone Philippine geriatric center is the most cost-effective intervention for elderly care, Mr. President?
Yes, Mr. President. May pangangailangan po para dito sa Philippine Geriatric Center at ang pangunahing tinatayuan po ng Department of Health para dito ay dahil wala pang stand-alone na specialty center at regional centers kaugnay nito para sa ating Filipino geriatrics. Ang pangangailangang nakikita po ng Department of Health ay dahil the Philippines is aging rapidly. Ngunit yung ating health system ay nananatiling hindi pa daw handa. Ayon po sa Philippine Statistics Authority na sinangguni din ng DOH, Mr. President, at least nung 2020 census, ang mga Pilipinong 65 years old and over ay nag-a-account na para sa 5.4% ng total population. At pinoproject po ng DOH na kasing aga ng taong 2030, mga 7% na ating mga Pilipino ay magiging 65 years old and above. At sa ganung pong mga percentages, may obserbasyon din po ang Philippine Statistics Authority na ang ating bansa ay tatawid na daw po sa threshold at makaklasify na bilang aging population, Mr. President.
Ano ba ang lifespan ng Pilipino?
Sa ngayon po, Mr. President, umaabot po ang life expectancy nating mga Pilipino sa 79 years old.
79.
Opo, Mr. President.
Alright. Saan niyo ba balak ipatayo itong Philippine Geriatric Center? Do you have any plans or dito lang ba sa Metro Manila or sa probinsya?
Sa ngayon po, Mr. President, wala po pong tukoy na location at ang ating panukala ay kapag naipasa, iiwan po ito sa discretion ng Department of Health. Ngayon lamang po may mga datos na maaring maggumabay sa kanila dahil ayon nga po sa datos na iyon, ang karamihan ng mga older persons dito sa Pilipinas ay nakakonsentra di umano sa Central Luzon, Metro Manila at saka Southern Tagalog regions.
So most
Mr. President.
probably dito sa Metro Manila itatayo itong Philippine Geriatric Center.
Hindi ko pa po masabi, Mr. President, na most probably dito dahil meron din pong lumalabas na mga posibleng lokasyon dun sa dalawa pang ibang
Kasi
mga
nandito
rehiyon,
yung
Mr.
bulk
President.
kamo ng mga cougar, ay mga matatanda, yung mga 65 years old and above. Paano halimbawa, assuming that the DOH plans to construct the Philippine Geriatric Center here in Metro Manila or in Luzon. At paano naman ma-avail ng ating mga geriatric patients dun sa Visayas and Mindanao? No? Dahil kung talagang isa lang ang gagawin natin Philippine Geriatric Center at dito pa nga i-station yung sa Metro Manila, paano ma-avail ng ating mga kababayan, mga may edad, itong Philippine Geriatric Center dahil napakalayo, lalong-lalo na yung mga mahirap?
Opo, Mr. President, napaka mahalagang issue po iyan at in-anticipate na rin po ng Department of Health kahit bago pa nila inirekomenda na magtayo tayo ng Philippine Geriatric Center. Dahil po sa 82 na DOH hospital sa buong bansa, meron po silang in-identify na 33 kung saan sa loob niyang mga ospital at ito po, Mr. President, ay sa lahat din ng mga rehiyon ng ating bansa, magtatayo ng a specialty center for geriatric health. And in fact po, sa 33 na identified na DOH hospitals na iyon, sa kasalukuyan ay may 7 ng kompleto at fully operational. 3 po, or 4? Hindi. Sa 7 yun, 4 po ay nandito na, 3 po ay nasa Luzon, tatlo pa ay nasa Visayas at isa ay nasa Mindanao na mga kompleto at fully functioning na mga specialty centers for geriatric health sa mga DOH hospitals. At yung natitira pa dun sa 33 total na DOH hospitals na magkakaroon nitong mga centers for geriatric care sa loob nila ay balak makumpleto din at maging fully functioning na ng DOH sa taong 2028. At bukod pa po doon, Mr. President, mayroon pong mga 2,000 higit na mga primary care facilities na mayroong ding kapasidad mag-extend ng geriatric care services muli po sa buong bansa po natin, Mr. President. Ibig sabihin, bago pa maitayo yung Philippine Geriatric Center sa loob ng ilang pang mga taon na susunod, ay nakatayo na at itatayo pa yung mga centers of geriatric care dun po sa primary care facilities at dun din po sa DOH hospitals sa buong bansa, Mr. President.
Salamat, Ginoong Pangulo. Pwede ho malaman, Ginoong Pangulo, kung ano itong mga, para sa kalaman ng ating publiko, ano itong mga hospital na nabanggit nyo na nagka-cater na para sa mga geriatric patients?
Yes, Mr. President. Sa ngayon po, yung 7 na kompleto na pong geriatric care specialty centers ay Jose R. Reyes Memorial Medical Center, na yun din po ang bahay sa ngayon ng National Center for Geriatric Health, yung Tondo Medical Center,
Manila.
yung Quirino Memorial Medical
Yung
Center.
Quirino Medical Center, ito yung dating labor hospital.
Yes, Mr. President. Ito po yung dating labor hospital. So, 3 po sa Metro Manila. Yung isa po sa Kabuang Luzon ay yung Bataan General Hospital and Medical Center. At mayroon din po sa Batangas Medical Center. So 5 pala po sa Luzon. Yung una na nasa Visayas ay sa Eastern Visayas Medical Center at yung
Where is this
ito
located
po
at?
ay sa
Saan sa Eastern Visayas?
Yun po ay nasa Leyte, Mr. President. At yung pampito na kompleto na at fully functional ay sa Region 11 sa Davao, sa Southern Philippines Medical Center, Mr. President.
So yung ating mga kababayan halimbawa sa Cebu, sa Bohol, kinakailangan pa nila pumunta ron sa Leyte para magpagamot dahil wala silang geriatric care sa kanilang mga accredited DOH hospitals. Am I right?
Sa ngayon po, Mr. President, kapag kailangan na nila ng higher level, above primary care, secondary care level, halimbawa, then pupunta pa sila sa Leyte. Pero dun po sa kabuuan ng Visayas, gayon din sa kabuuan ng Mindanao at kabuuan ng Luzon, meron na nitong 2,704 primary care facilities as of November nitong taon na functional na. At least may geriatric care na dun sa primary care level, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I'm just curious. No? Why are you so passionate about this bill since you're not yet hindi ka pasakop dito sa geriatric? Dahil tinanong ko kanina sa inyo kung ilang taon na kayo. Sabi niyo 59 lang kayo.
Opo.
But why are you so passionate about this bill?
Well, siguro Mr. President, bagamat magiging senior pa lang ako sa susunod na taon at hindi pa nga awa ng Diyos, knock on wood, wala pang geriatric health concerns. Pero sino ba naman po sa atin ang walang lolo't lola, mami at daddy, at lahat po tayo ay sa bawat araw tumatanda, balang araw tatanda rin. At nakikita po natin, tayo bilang mga mambabatas, nakikita po natin kung paano nag-evolve yung ating kabuang populasyon. So, kaya po ako passionate dito at mukhang hindi lamang ako dahil 13 po tayong mga miyembro nitong kapulungan na may akda nitong Philippine Geriatric Center bills, kabilang na po ang good gentleman mula sa San Juan, dahil gusto po nating pansinin at aksyonan yung rekomendasyon ng Department of Health na ngayon pa lang, habang hindi pa tayo officially aging population, mapaghandaan na po natin itong mga kasalukuyan at lalong magiging health concerns ng ating populasyon, Mr. President. At dahil ito po ay ginagawa natin sa konteksto ng universal healthcare, animated po tayo dun sa prinsipyo na primary healthcare kapag ito'y ating binigyan, excuse me, ito'y ating binigyan ng pangunahing pansin ngayon pa lamang, ay mas mapapanatili natin ang kalusugan ng ating mga nakatatandang Pilipino, mas maaga nating mai-intervene kapag magkaroon sila ng health concerns, at economically speaking din, Mr. President, mas makatitipid din po tayo sa kabuoang health expenditures ng ating gobyerno sa ganitong pagbibigay priority po sa primary health care.
So dun sa
healthcare,
mga
Mr.
nabanggit
President.
niyo pong ospital dito sa Metro Manila, sa Eastern Visayas, at sa Mindanao, kumusta naman yung kanilang marami ba yung mga pasyente na nagpapatingin dun sa ating mga ospital?
At the very least, Mr. President, kaya ko nang ibahagi sa good gentleman yung karanasan nung Jose R. Reyes Memorial Medical
occupancy
Center.
rate. Yung
Yes, sir.
occupancy rate lang.
Ang occupancy rate po nila, yung admitted cases po nila 2024, umabot po sa 2,994. Opo, marami-rami
Sa
din
isang
po.
ospital lang to?
Sa isang ospital lamang po ito, at sa isang ospital na very modest, 25-bed capacity po siya. At tuwing mag-exceed ng kanilang bed capacity ay nire-refer po yung mga pasyenteng iyon doon na po sa Jose R. Reyes. At nitong taon, at least hanggang Setyembre, umabot po sa 2,200 ang admitted cases dyan po sa National Center for Geriatric Health sa Jose R. Reyes. Meron din po silang outpatient services. At nung taong 2024, baka magulat po kayo muli, Mr. President, nakapag-cater po sila sa 56,192 seniors sa outpatient services. At nitong taong 2025 hanggang sa buwan ng Setyembre, nakapag-cater po sila sa 33,997 senior outpatient. So kumbaga, na ma-maximize po nila dun po sa National Center for Geriatric Health at nakapagre-refer pa po ng mga admitted cases sa Jose R. Reyes, Mr. President.
Curiously speaking, Mr. President, anong klaseng mga sakit itong nadaranasan itong ating mga senior citizen?
Marami-rami po, Mr. President. Batay din po sa ulat ng Jose R. Reyes sa kanilang National Center for Geriatric Health. Ito po yung mga trending burdens of disease para sa
Number
seniors.
one, yung number one disease lang.
Well, number one na binabanggit po nila, hypertension. At sumusunod po, osteoarthritis, diabetes and cardiovascular, malignancy or cancer, visual impairment, balance and gait disorder, cognitive impairment, hearing impairment.
What was the last one?
The last po, hearing impairment.
Hearing. Okay.
Opo.
Bingi.
Ano po? Nabibingi na po. Hindi, opo. Timing po na, itanong ng good gentleman wala sa San Juan kung ano po yung nasabi ko.
Mga kandidato yata ako dun.
Gayon din po yung sleep disorder, urinary incontinence at dentition problem, Mr.
So
President.
number one is hypertension.
Number one pong binanggit, hypertension din.
That
po,
is
Mr.
only
President.
for one hospital.
Just for Jose R. Reyes po sa kanilang National Center for Geriatric
Siguro
Health.
that follows sa ibang hospital, if I'm not mistaken.
Posible po, Mr. President, at pwede ko pong i-check para maiulat po, Mr. President. Sa
Meron ba tayong inalot na budget for geriatric care itong to last year for 2025?
Actually, Mr. President, at salamat sa tanong ng good gentleman, wala po tayong
Wala?
na appropriate, particularly for geriatric health nung nakaraang
So,
taon, Mr.
wala ba
President.
tayong in-amend for next year's budget?
Yes. Of course, Mr. President, dahil tinatalakay pa lang naman natin excuse me, yung tungkol sa Philippine Geriatric Center. Of course, wala pa pong proposed item para dyan. Sa ngayon po, for geriatric services in general, ang meron po ay dun po sa Jose R. Reyes, particular sa National Center for Geriatric.
So hindi natin nadagdagan ng pondo yung J. Reyes Hospital.
Hindi pa po natin nadagdagan.
Pwede
Mr.
pa pahabol,
President.
nagbabaykan pa sila.
Baka mahirapan na po tayo, Mr. President, lalo, dahil sa mga reformang isinusulong lalo na natin sa Senado.
Alright.
Excuse me, sa budget process, Mr.
Thank you, Mr.
President.
President. With regard to the scope and the mandate and the functions of the Philippine Geriatric Center, the bill assigns the PGC or the Geriatric Center functions ranging from hospital care to research, training, and consultancy and policy support. Is there a risk that the center becomes overextended and unable to excel in its core mandate?
Wala naman pong pinangangambahan, Mr. President, na risk of overextension ng Philippine Geriatric Center dahil yung pinaka, in a way, highest functions na gusto nating ma-fulfill ng ating kabuang universal healthcare system para sa mga geriatrics ay dun nga po mahahouse sa PGC and may complementarity dun po sa ibang mga DOH hospitals at sa mga primary care facilities na mag-extend din ng appropriate geriatric care services at their levels, Mr. President.
Is there such a doctor, yung geriatric doctor? Meron bang...
Yes, Mr. President, mayroon pong tinatawag na geriatrician. Unfortunately, napakakaunti pa lang nila dito sa ating bansa para tumugon sa isang populasyon na tinatawag na
Do they have to
rapidly
specialize it?
aging. They
Itong
have a
geriatric?
specialization, Mr.
Yes.
President. At ngayon, base sa datos, 173 lamang po
Nationwide?
ang active geriatricians nationwide, Mr. President. Kaya ito po ay isang area talaga para sa workforce development and training na nais din nating matugunan ng Philippine Geriatric Center dahil among its other functions, magigi po siyang national training hub para sa geriatricians, nurses, therapists, at allied professionals, Mr. President.
How does the sponsor propose to ensure adequate staffing without draining existing public hospitals? Kasi given the shortage of geriatric doctors, dahil sabi niyo 173 lang, how do you ensure adequate staffing without draining existing public hospitals?
Well, yung pong, Mr. President, yung pong pagiging training hub ng Philippine Geriatric Center, inaasahan natin makapag-train, makapag-supply, makapag-deploy bukod sa healthcare staff sa sariling center, dun din po sa ibang DOH hospitals and primary care facilities sa ating bansa. Hindi po mangyayari na magbe-brain drain mula sa mga existing DOH hospitals na mayroong specialty centers for geriatric care, lalo na sa mga primary care facilities,
Ito
Mr.
bang mga
President.
geriatric doctors, naka-assign ba ito lahat sa JRAS or sa iba't ibang hospital o naka-assign sa mga private hospitals? Kasi kailangan din ng mga private hospitals ang anong klaseng doktor eh.
Totoo po, Mr. President. Sa ngayon,
Spread out.
spread out po sila, naka-distribute sa buong bansa.
So
Mr.
yung
President.
sinasabi niyong number one complaint ng ating mga nakakatad ng kababayan, yung hypertension, ang nag-aalaga sa kanila ay sa cardiologist. Am I right? Pag hypertension, cardiologist ba?
Tama po yan, Mr. President. Cardiologists po, not necessarily geriatricians,
Yes.
Mr.
And the
President.
second complaint?
The second mentioned complaint po was osteoarthritis, Mr. President.
So, orthopedic doctor?
Tama po, Mr. President. Mga orthopedic
marami tayong
specialists.
cardiologists, marami tayong orthopedic doctors. And the third one?
Yung pangatlong binabanggit
Diabetes.
po ay, yes, Mr. President, diabetes and cardiovascular.
So cardiovascular,
Mr. President.
sa
Ganun din
cardiologist.
po sa
So yung diabetes, sa endocrinologist.
Yes, Mr.
So marami rin
President.
tayong mga doktor na
Endocrinologist.
pwede palang maasahan
Opo.
sa oras ng pangangailangan ng ating mga nakakadadang kababayan. Anyway, going back to the scope and the mandate of the PGC, which functions of the Philippine Geriatric Center are intended to be exclusive and which are merely complementary to existing DOH hospitals and specialty centers, Mr. President?
Okay. Meron pong several purposes and objectives, Mr. President, ang Philippine Geriatric Center. Kasama na po dito yung provide affordable, quality, people-centered preventive, diagnostic, rehabilitative, and curative care for older persons, to promote integrated geriatric health services nationwide in coordination with DOH, LGUs, and other stakeholders, conduct and publish scientific research on age-related diseases, provide consultancy and technical assistance in setting geriatric care standards, assist in establishing and maintaining senior citizens wards in government hospitals, ayon po sa Expanded Senior Citizens Act, at offer education and training on geriatric care for healthcare workers, social workers, academics, and volunteers. Masasabi po siguro, Mr. President, na bagamat may ilang mga aspeto nitong mga purposes at objectives ay in a way shared dun sa ibang mga ospital, pero sa aspetong pagbibigay ng pangunahin at pinakamataas na pansin alang-alang sa mga older persons or geriatric Filipinos, hindi man 100% exclusive, pero nakasentro sa Philippine Geriatric Center yung pagtupad sa mga layuning ito, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. How will the PGC's role in standard setting and consultancy interact with the regulatory authority of the DOH and other professional bodies, Mr. President?
So magiging direct po ang ugnayan po nila, Mr. President, ng Philippine Geriatric Center sa Department of Health dahil magiging siyang sa ilalim ng direct control and supervision ng DOH at kikilalanin po siyang DOH hospital, Mr. President.
So sa tingin niyo po, sa palagay niyo, wala magiging conflict?
Wala pong magiging conflict, Mr. President. In fact, mas patitindihin pa, mas i-extend pa ng Philippine Geriatric Center ang nagawa na ng Department of Health in terms of standard setting at saka paggabay sa consultancy sa iba't ibang DOH hospitals, Mr. President.
Okay, Mr. President, how do you envision this bill, itong Philippine Geriatric Center? Will it be a service provider or a policy institution or both?
It would be both, Mr. President, dahil meron siyang kahit modest na bed capacity, lalo na sa simula. Iniisip halimbawa kahit 100 bed capacity lamang. Magkakaroon din po siya ng mga outpatient services. Bagamat dahil mag-ooperate siya in terms of direct services in a complementary way sa mga DOH hospitals, eventually a total of 33 na mayroong specialty centers for geriatric care. Complementary din siya bagamat at a higher level of care sa libo-libong mga primary care facilities na may geriatric services, pero yung aspeto halimbawa ng research at training, malamang at least sa simula, siya lamang ang nag-provide nun for geriatric care services, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Okay, mabalik tayo sa staffing pattern, no? Sa organizational structure. In Section 5 of this measure, is it correct to assume that this measure practically leaves the organizational structure entirely to the Department of Health, subject to the approval of the Department of Budget and Management?
That is correct, Mr. President. Ganun nga po, gaya ng pinoprovide dito sa Section 5, Mr. President.
Okay. Why did the bill not provide minimum standards or safeguards against bureaucratic inflation?
Okay. Mr. President, bukod po sa ugnayan ng Department of Health sa DBM in general, meron pong umiiral na memorandum? Joint circular po. May umiiral na joint circular ng DOH at DBM prescribing yung organizational structure and staffing pattern matching dun sa bed capacity.
May MOA?
May joint
Joint
circular
circular.
po, sa pagitan ng dalawang department na gumagabay po. Depende sa bed capacity nung DOH hospital na yon. Ito po yung prescribed na org structure at staffing pattern mula sa pananaw ng DBM, Mr. President. Thereby, in effect, dapat ito ay makaprevent ng inaalala ng good gentleman na inflation or sa staffing sa organizational structure, Mr. President.
Salamat, Ginoong Pangulo. Kanina po nasabi nyo may kakulangan tayo or shortage ng mga geriatric doctors. Ano ba ho plano nyo rito? Gusto nyo bang magkaroon ng plantilla positions? Magka-create tayo ng mga plantilla positions? Or will personnel be reassigned from other DOH facilities?
Yes, Mr. President, magkakaroon po ng plantilla positions base nga po dun sa implications ng joint circular sa pagitan ng Departments of Health and Budget and Management. Hindi po namin na-foresee na kukuha sila ng specialists mula sa ibang mga DOH hospitals dahil malamang sa hindi kahit doon ay kulang pa rin, Mr. President. So kapag po na-determine yung plantilla positions para sa Philippine Geriatric Center, magbubukas po sila sa application mula sa mga geriatricians at iba pang health professionals, Mr. President.
So, ibig sabihin, pag napasa itong batas na ito at maipasa natin at maging ganap na batas, tayo mag-allocate ng kaukulang pondo para magpatayo ng Philippine Geriatric Center. Tama po ba ako?
Tama po, Mr. President.
So, ano ba ang inyong target? By 2027, magkakaroon na tayo ng Philippine Geriatric Center dahil alam ko malaki ang gagastusin dito sa pagpapatayo ng isang standalone na Philippine Geriatric Center kung dito pa sa Metro Manila itatayo ang nasabing gusali.
Mukhang, Mr. President, hindi po inimagine na maitatayo ito sa loob ng 2 taon lamang. Kaya pati po sa projections tungkol sa pondong kakailanganin, in tranches po talaga over the next several years. Halimbawa po, kung gagamitin yung 100-bed Dole Hospital para sa OFWs bilang baseline, ang pagtatayo ng isang 100-bed din lamang munang Philippine Geriatric Center ay magsisimula sa humigit kumulang 550 million pesos para sa
550
construction.
million?
Opo, para sa construction at
For
basic equipment.
for 100 bed capacity?
Yes po, yung
Masyado
naging
yata
baseline
malaki yun.
sa OFW's hospital ng Dole na 100-bed capacity din po, Mr.
Masyado
President.
yatang malaki yung amount ng 550 million for the 100 bed capacity.
Parang naging
Sa
peg lang
PGH
yun,
ba
Mr.
walang
President.
geriatric care? Sa Philippine General Hospital? Wala ba silang geriatric care doon?
Wala po sa listahan, Mr. President, ang PGH na mayroong designated specialty center for geriatric care, Mr. President.
Sa
Kaya po talaga, Mr. President, sa Jose R. Reyes, sa kanilang National Center for
sa
Geriatric
Veterans
Health.
Hospital? Wala rin.
Actually, Mr. President,
Alam mo,
wala rin po sa Veterans Memorial Medical, Mr.
Ano,
President.
kabisado ko yung Veterans Memorial Hospital dahil doon kami nagbakasyon ng tatay ko ng araw at nakita ko kung gaano kalawak yung lupain sa Veterans Memorial Hospital at siguro
Yes, Mr.
pwede tayo
President.
magpatayo ng isang total pagmamayari naman ng gobyerno yan, siguro pwede natin pag-isipan mabuti. O kapag pumayag yung mga opisyalis ng Veterans Hospital, o pwede doon natin ilagak itong Philippine Geriatric Center. At least hindi na bibili ng lupa ang ating gobyerno dahil pagmamayari ng gobyerno itong Veterans Memorial Hospital. Eh, nakita ko talaga ang lawak nung kanilang lupain. Meron pang golf course.
Nga po.
Yung talagang tandang-tanda ko yan. Eh.
I'm sure po, Mr. President, i-welcome ng DOH yung ganyang mga mungkahi at payo. At lalo na wala pa mang specialty center sa veterans or
Yes.
sa PGH, pero meron po sila parehong geriatric wards. Bilang sa loob po ng veterans at ng
meron
PGH.
geriatric wards
May
sa
geriatric
veterans?
wards na rin po, Mr. President. Alinsunod po sa Department of Health din po na magsimula nang magkaroon ng at least wards para sa geriatric patients sa mga government hospitals, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, the bill mandates the creation of a national geriatric health registry. How will data privacy and compliance with the Data Privacy Act be ensured?
Yung pong doctor patient confidentiality, Mr. President, ay built-in na po sa magiging pag-extend ng health services ng Philippine Geriatric Center sa kanyang mga pasyente, Mr. President. Alinsunod dun sa batas ng data privacy, Mr. President.
Will participation in this registry be mandatory for hospitals and LGUs? And if so, how will compliance be enforced?
Actually, Mr. President, sa kasalukuyan, lahat po ay in compliance with that registry, papasok po yung data. And then mandatory yung pagsunod sa mga alintuntunin ng data privacy law, Mr. President.
All right. How will this registry be integrated with the existing DOH health information systems to avoid the fragmentation of health data?
So sa ngayon, Mr. President, under the management ng Department of Health, aggregated at integrated po talaga yung mga data na iyon, Mr. President.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, with regard to the integration of with the universal healthcare, the bill states that geriatric services shall be integrated into the universal healthcare framework. Can the good sponsor clarify whether this creates new entitlements or merely strengthens the existing ones?
It would merely strengthen the existing entitlements, Mr. President, sa ilalim ng Universal Healthcare System. Dahil ito pong Philippine Geriatric Center, kung maipasa na natin, eventually ay isasama talaga sa healthcare provider network ng UHC bilang siya'y magiging national apex center para sa geriatric services. So sa ilalim pa rin ng UHC, yung Philippine Geriatric Center ang magiging pangunahing partner ng DOH at pati ng PhilHealth sa pagde-develop ng standard geriatric benefit packages. Kabilang nga po yung chronic disease management, rehabilitation, long-term care, at pati palliative services para masigurong covered at accessible ang mga ito sa lahat ng senior citizens, Mr. President.
Actually, that's my next question, Mr. President. How will long-term care, yung mga palliative care, and rehabilitative services for senior citizens be financed sustainably under PhilHealth?
So mako-cover na rin po yung long-term care at yung palliative care
Ng PhilHealth.
dun sa benefit packages na i-develop at i-offer at i-cover ng PhilHealth sa ating mga senior citizens, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. All right. In Section 7, initially charges the cost to the current DOH budget. Has the good sponsor identified which DOH programs may be reduced or realigned to accommodate this one?
So Mr. President, sa current year's appropriation, yung budget po ng DOH ang mag-allocate para sa geriatric patients kapag po kinakailangan.
So
And then,
itong
yes, Mr. President.
Aprubahan natin budget for next year, Meron talaga nakalaan for geriatric care? O wala talaga? O zero?
Sa ngayon po, Mr. President, naka-integrate pa lamang po dun sa mga DOH hospitals at
Kaya pa
primary
rin?
care
Kaya-
facilities
kaya ng budget ng
na mayroong
DOH?
geriatric services. Pinagkakasya po, honestly, ng mga DOH hospitals sa ngayon, kaya't malaking tulong din in a complementary way kapag naitayo na yung Philippine Geriatric Center para moving forward, makapag-appropriate para doon. Kahit in tranches over the next several years dahil progressive naman po yung realization ng establishment noon, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Has a multi-year cost projection been prepared for the construction, staffing, and operation of the Philippine Geriatric Center?
Yung multi-year projection na yun, Mr. President, ay sa panukalang batas natin, iiwan din yung final pesos and centavos nun sa Department of Health. Sa ngayon, may mga projected costs lamang. Una na po yung nabangid kong 550 million para sa construction at basic equipment. Pero dahil nga ang Philippine Geriatric Center ay mangangailangan ng specialized wards, rehabilitation facilities, diagnostics, long-term care areas at posibleng research at training spaces, inaasahang mas mataas ang kabuuang gastos na maaaring umabot. But over the next several years, so in tranches,
In tranches
maaaring
ulit.
umabot sa 600 million hanggang 1.2 billion pesos, Mr. President. Pero ito ay mga projections lang, estimates, base nga dun sa unang DOLE hospital para sa OFWs. Pero ang DOH na po ang gagabay sa atin sa pag-finalize ng requested budgets, Mr. President.
Okay, how will Congress ensure that the Philippine Geriatric Center does not become another unfunded specialty hospital competing annually for limited appropriations, Mr. President?
Ang inaasahan po, Mr. President, ay sa pamamagitan nitong ating panukala ay mapipigilan natin na magkaroon po tayo ng batas pero hindi naman ito mapopondohan and mabubungi yung isang importanteng elemento ng ating universal healthcare
Kasi
system.
marami
Mr.
naman
President.
tayong mga batas na hindi talaga napopondohan, hindi lamang itong hospital.
Yes, Mr. President,
Baka maging white elephant na naman itong hospital na ito. I hope not.
definitely hindi natin gustong mangyari yon, Mr. President, at gagawin natin ang lahat na ito'y maging isang mahigpit na panukala na actually magde-deliver, magpo-produce ng isang Philippine Geriatric Center over the next several years, Mr. President.
So ang target niyo po dito, mga after 5 years, maisa sa katuparan na itong...
Opo, Mr. President,
So-
mga kalahating dekada pa. Dahil at the same time, lumalabas na pinaprioritize ng DOH na by 2028, within 3 years, fully set up na po yung mga specialty centers for geriatric care sa loob ng 33 out of the DOH, out of the 82 DOH hospitals. At gayon din, tuloy-tuloy yung pag-capacitate ng ating mga primary care facilities. 2,000 plus na po ay may ganong capacity at all over the country na magkaroon ng capacity at least for primary healthcare sa mga geriatrics, not just in the next 3 years but ongoing po year on year, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Okay, I'm down to my last 2 questions, Mr. President. Is the establishment of the Philippine Geriatric Center intended as a pilot model for future regional geriatric centers, Mr. President?
Magandang tanong po yan, Mr. President. Actually, hindi na po siya kailangang hintayin bilang pilot dahil bago pa man tayo magkaroon ng Philippine Geriatric Center, nauuna na sa mga rehiyon. At least yung mga specialty centers for geriatric care dun sa DOH hospitals at yung pong mga primary care facilities. So, in a way, kapag maitayo na natin yung Philippine Geriatric Center, makokompleto niya yung isa pang importanteng piyesa sa buong puzzle ng pag-provide ng geriatric care sa kabuuang universal healthcare system natin, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I'm down to my last question. Finally, how does this bill fit into a long-term national aging strategy considering projections that the Philippines will soon become an aging society?
Ang ganda po ng tanong, Mr. President, dahil ngayon ko lang tuloy na-realize na kapag nagkaroon na tayo nitong Philippine Geriatric Center, complementary sa specialty center sa mga DOH hospitals at complementary sa ating primary care facilities na nag-extend ng geriatric services, mas magkakatotoo yung advokasya ng Department of Health ng active aging at saka healthy longevity. So kumbaga, mas ma-anticipate na natin yung sinasabi at sinabi nga po ng good gentleman na darating yung araw as early as year 2030 na tatawid tayo dun sa classification ng aging population. And gusto po natin na sa pamamagitan nitong Philippine Geriatric Center na bubuin yung sistema ng Universal Healthcare for Geriatrics na mas maging capable tayo na alagaan ang kalusugan ng ating mga senior citizens or kapag magkaroon sila ng health concerns, maaga pa lang ma-detect at ma-intervene ito para magamot or kung wag naman sana, knock on wood, magkaroon ng mas malulubhang mga health concerns, ay ganun din effectively makapaggamot sa kanila para yung buong life expectancy ay ma-enjoy pa rin ng ating mga seniors, ng ating mga geriatrics at yung quality of life sa life expectancy na yon ay to the greatest degree possible, ma-enjoy pa rin, Mr. President.
Maraming salamat. Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, I would like to thank my colleague, Senator Risa, for answering all my questions. I've learned a lot from all your answers, Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Maraming salamat po, good gentleman mula sa San Juan. Salamat po, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Oo, senior na. Si Risa, 1 year pa.
Thank you. Tinanong ko si Senator Jingo Estrada kung senior citizen siya. Senior citizen na pala. Hindi halata. Yeah.
Hindi nga.
So, Mr. President, with that, I move to close the period of interpellation, Mr. President, of the measure.
They're seeing there are no more interpellators. Any objection? Hearing none, period of interpellation is closed.
Thank you, Mr. President. And if the good lady senator is ready with her amendments, maybe we can tackle the...
I wish I were, Mr. President, a good majority leader, pero iniintay pa po yung approval ng mga kasamang senador na nag-propose ng amendments kung okay na po yung formulation. So we'll be ready on Monday, Mr. President.
All right, Mr. President.
Okay.
With that, I move to suspend consideration of the measure.
Any objection? Hearing none, consideration of 1509 is suspended.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that we consider Senate Bill number 1513. This is the lupus systemic instituting a national health program to fight lupus, Mr. President. If the
1513.
yes, that's item number 4 in the agenda.
All right. Any objection? Consideration of 1513 is in order.
Thank you, Mr. President. Oh, maybe Senator Mark is. Senator Mark has some amendments. Maybe we can just ask the sponsor to be the one to read into the records the amendments for the measure. Maganda para ma-second reading. Mr. President,
No, still in the period of interpellation.
that's correct, Mr. President. Mr. President, no member wishes to interpolate or they interpolate. Hindi ko nakakalam sa ano.
All right. The
Mr. President,
period
we
of...
recognize the gentleman from
Senator
San
Jingo
Juan.
Estrada is recognized.
Maybe only 2 questions, Mr. President.
Yes, we recognize the good gentle lady from Panay and Republic of the Philippines, Senator Rizal de Veros.
Senator Indiveros is recognized.
Just for the education of the public, Mr. President, just only 2 questions, Mr. President. Ano ba
Yes,
klaseng
Mr.
sakit
President.
itong lupus? Sa kidney ba ito?
It is an autoimmune disease, Mr. President. Pero minsan nami-misdiagnose siya dahil sa bawat tao, bawat pasyente, minsan magkakaiba-iba po ang simptomas. And so nagkakaroon po ng problema na nami-misdiagnose siya as one or another health concern, nare-resetahan ng gamot or nape-prescribe ng therapy. At kapag po mali ang naging diagnosis at mali ang naging initial na medication, minsan mas lalo pang napapalala yung tunay na underlying condition, which is lupus, Mr. President.
Ano ba yung simptomas ng pagkakaroon ng lupus? Kung alam niyo po, dahil
Iba-
alam ko hindi naman po kayong doktor.
Hindi po ako doktor, Mr. President, pero ayon sa mga impormasyon na ibinigay pati nung ating mga kasama dito sa Senado na co-authors ko dito, it could span a wide range of symptoms, Mr. President. Mula sa skin rashes hanggang sa infection sa iba't ibang major internal organs, pwedeng nerve sensitivity or pain. Malawak po ang range ng mga sintomas, Mr. President. And Mr. President, the Majority Leader would like to interject.
Thank you, Mr. President. Baka makatulong po ako, Mr. President, dahil yung aking anak na babae is may lupus. So, nung una po namin, tama po sinabi ng ating sponsor, hindi mo agad-agad ma-realize na ito po yung lupus unless there's another set of tests. Usually, nag-umpisa po sa aking anak, she was 12 years old. During the pandemic, I remember na nagkaroon po siya ng malaking bukol sa braso. At nagtataka kami, bakit nagkaroon ng malaking bukol? Natakot siyempre kami dahil baka cyst or it might be cancerous. So we had it operated, Mr. President. And thankfully, benign siya. Hindi po siya cancer.
Mr.
And then all of a
Majority
sudden,
Leader, what was the first diagnosis of the doctors sa anak mo?
yeah, initially
Aside
kasi,
from lupus,
Mr.
yung
President.
initial diagnosis.
Initially kasi they thought it was just a hypoderm. It was a medical term, I forget. It's like nagkakaroon po ng epidermatitis something. It's like lumps in the skin. Apparently, that is one of the manifestations of lupus. Kasi your autoimmune, your body does not know how to treat and react to that. And then nangyayari po, yun, after that, nung nalaman na po namin nagkaganon, tapos later, nagka-rashes siya. So, our doctor in Cagayan de Oro, who's a dear good friend of mine, said na, your daughter might have an autoimmune problem. So, because of that, nag-hospital po kami sa Manila to be able to get the proper testing. Kasi blood test and urine test yan. There's another, pag nag-blood test po kayo for your medical checkups, it's not there. It's not in any of the tests of that particular medical checkup kung yung executive checkup ka. It's a specialized blood test wherein they check certain markers. At dun po pumasok na yun nga may autoimmune problem yung lalo na sa platelets ng dugo. Another one is also on your autoimmune. There's a markers for autoimmune in the blood test. Doon namin nalaman na she has juvenile lupus. Other people, like for example, other people that I know, ang kanila is bumabagsak yung katawan bigla.
Pumapayat.
Hindi naman pumapayat, talagang nangihina. And then because of that, affected po yung kidneys and liver nila, internal organs. These are the worst, I'd say, worst symptoms of lupus because also that they have to drink this medication na napakalakas. And minsan nga yung yung autoimmune medication that they take, hiyang. May autoimmune medication na hiyang sa isang tao pero hindi po gumagana sa iba. But it all falls under an autoimmune sickness, Mr. President. Even, if I'm not mistaken, Chris Aquino, who's the daughter of our former president, a good friend of ours also, and good friend of the good gentleman, she has also the same symptoms of autoimmune. Parang lupus na rin yan po. It's a kind of lupus that's what she has today. So it attacks the body differently, yung autoimmune.
Yung vital organs.
It attacks the vital organs, Mr. President. Kaya it has to be treated fairly early, tsaka dapat hindi ma-misdiagnose. Kaya napakalaga po itong batas ni Senator Risa Ontiveros is because they're coming up now with a guideline. No, it's a health program. At the same time, one of the amendments will be this establishment of an autoimmune center para hindi na po ma-misdiagnose. Marami po namamatay kasi, nakunod, no? na namamatay po sila dahil na may misdiagnose. Kala nila skin rashes lang. So they treat it like
Dermatologist.
parang dermatologist lang or yung skin disease lang. It's that skin asthma. There's a term for that. Eczema. So they treat it like that lang. Not knowing that it's already affecting them internally. Psoriasis. Parang yun,
Psoriasis.
it's also psoriasis, yeah. And then, kaya napakalaga itong bill na ito para ma-jumpstart natin. And I'd say, probably hundreds of thousands, if not there are millions of Filipinos that are affected by this. It's just misdiagnosed. And
What is the cause?
yes, Mr. President, there's until now it's either hereditary. Some doctors say it's hereditary. Some doctors say it's a shock to the system. There are people that have no lupus. There are ladies and gentlemen that have no lupus all throughout their young life. And then all of a sudden, when they hit 30, 35 years old, 40, nagkalupus po sila. So,
Biglaan.
parang biglaan eh. And it's more prevalent now, Mr. President. If you talk to a lot of people, I've met a lot of people casually na yung kapatid nila may lupus, yung nanay nila may lupus, yung anak nila may lupus. So parang dumadami na po because it's now properly being diagnosed.
Yeah, my niece, I have a niece who has lupus. She's cured already. The sister of one of my lawyers.
That's good. Pero actually, Mr. President, there's really no cure. It's just management po. She just cannot have another flare-up. Kasi pwede basta, ito nangyayari, Mr. President. Let's say for 1 year, you drink the medicine. You're absolutely perfect. That happens to my daughter and kay asawa din ni Senator Mark, ganun din. They can have 1 year, they can travel, they have a nice normal life, and then the next year, boom, nagkakasumpong po. And then, nagkakaroon ng lumps, nagkakaroon ng rashes, bagsak yung katawan, kailangan may IV na steroids, and things like that, and talagang pahinga for 2 to 3 months. Yung masama pa dito, Mr. President, dahil mahina yung kanilang autoimmune system, or their immune system, pag nagkaroon ng sipon yung aking anak, ang tagal bago mawala. Like for example, now she's had a cough for 2 months. Hindi niya agad-agad mawala yung ubo niya dahil nga it takes a longer time for them their immune system to take effect. So, that's the reality of it, Mr. President. And strangely enough, 90% of the patients, lupus patients pa are women, Mr. President. 90%, I think yours is your niece?
Yes.
Ako, my first cousin po, my daughter. My Uncle Albert's daughter also has lupus. It's mostly women, Mr. President.
Kailangan mag-iingat si Senator Risa.
Hindi naman siya.
Anyway,
Yeah, sige,
but it could
mag-iingat
happen.
po.
We never know kasi it's the luck of the draw. Bigla na lang nagka-appear.
wait, one
Thank you,
question.
Mr. President. I just
Is
want-
lupus
open up.
contagious? Hindi nakakahawa.
It is not, Mr. President.
Alright.
Opo.
Okay, meron ho kayong data, Mr. President, with the sponsor. Sabi nga ni Senator Majority Leader Senator Mix, halos lahat ng tinatamaan mga babae. So anong ratio? Meron ba kayong ratio?
Unfortunately, Mr. President, baka kaugnay din nung misdiagnosed yung mga cases ng lupus. Wala pa po tayong matibay na database on how many Filipinos are living with lupus at ilan sa kanila ay babae, ilan ay lalaki. Yun yung isang gustong tutukan din nung center na ipopropose ni Senator Mark bilang amendment, Mr. President.
Ano bang doktor nag-aalaga rito? Rheumatologist.
Yes, Mr. President, rheumatologist din po.
Alright. Okay, thank you, Mr. President.
Salamat po, good gentleman. Salamat, Mr. President.
All right, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. We appreciate the questions of our good friend Senator Estrada because a lot of people really, initially, hindi ko rin alam po nung diagnose ng doktor na may lupus. Tinanong ko din sa asawa ko, what's that? Naalala ko lang yung, kay President Marcos dati, may lupus daw siya. And then, that's the only time we did the research. So, I think this is very timely, Mr. President. With that, Mr. President, no other members wish to interpolate this. As a matter of fact, I also asked the minority leader yesterday if we can fast track this. He said, yeah, no problem kasi good, happy bill. Happy bill naman po ito, Mr. President. I move that we close the period of interpellations.
Any objection? Hearing none, period of interpellations closed.
Mr. President, I'll ask the lady senator if you have amendments. We can open the period of amendments, Mr. President. I so move.
Are these committee amendments or individual amendments?
This is an individual amendment, Mr. President.
Individual amendments, it's a substitute bill, therefore automatically individual amendments. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Originally, it was going to be Senator Mark Villar to introduce the amendment. Isa po siya sa mga may akda at personally din po and family-wise, importante po sa kanila itong
Are
batas.
are these lengthy amendments or just
No, actually,
very few?
isa lamang pong
Okay.
proposed amendment, Mr. President. At
We need not take it up on page by page.
Yes, Mr.
okay.
President.
So you may proceed.
Salamat, Mr. President. This amendment was proposed by Senators Lacson, Zubiri, Mark Villar, and Ontiveros. On page 2, after line 30, insert a new section 6, which will read as follows. Section 6, Center for Lupus and Autoimmune Diseases. There is hereby established a Center for Lupus and Autoimmune Diseases under the Department of Health to serve as the National Technical and Referral Center for Systemic Lupus Erythematosus, SLE, and other autoimmune diseases, with functions including standards development, research, training, data management, and policy support. I so move, Mr. President.
And you accept that?
And yes,
all
Mr.
right.
President,
Any
I accept.
objection? Hearing none, adopted.
Thank you, Mr. President, and further move to renumber the succeeding sections accordingly. I so move, Mr.
She
President.
so renumbered.
Thank you, Mr. President. For the record, the justification for this amendment now accepted is as follows. Lupus and other autoimmune diseases are complex, long-term conditions that require specialized care, consistent standards, and reliable data. Establishing a Center for Lupus and Autoimmune Diseases will centralize expertise, improve coordination of care, and support research, training, and data collection. The center strengthens the implementation of this act by providing technical and policy support to the Department of Health, while integrating lupus care within a broader autoimmune disease framework to promote efficiency, avoid duplication, and ensure more sustainable and effective health services. For the record, Mr. President.
All right. Thank you. We'll place that on record.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Majority Leader.
Mr. President, with that, I move to close the period of amendments, Mr. President.